Welcome to the deep dive. It feels like the pace of change in AI has just gone into overdrive lately. It's not just fast. It feels almost like instant acceleration.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every week there's something new that just flips what we thought was possible.
Or at least when it would be possible.
Exactly. The timelines seem to be just evaporating.
Right. And that feeling, that sense of rapidly shifting timelines, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We've been looking really closely at these recent announcements from Google about their AI work.
Yeah, and these aren't just, minor feature tweaks. Some are framing this as a potential watershed moment, like really changing the game for AI progress.
A real turning point. And we've been digging into some detailed analyses, looking at the demos of Google's latest stuff.
That's right. So what we want to do today is unpack the highlights, the really significant bits.
Figure out what they actually signal for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And maybe start thinking about how these advancements might affect you listening right now and how you can, navigate this.
Consider this your kind of quick way to grasp the core insights without wading through everything yourself.
Perfect. So let's set the stage a bit. It feels like for a while there was this common wisdom about AI's path, right?
Yeah, a kind of predictable trajectory. You'd hear things like, AI won't really disrupt coding careers for another 10, 15 years, that kind of thing.
Or that truly smart AI interacting with the real world was still pretty far off. There was this sense of, okay, we know the direction, we roughly know the speed.
Exactly. A line extending out.
But what really jumped out from the analysis of these Google updates is this feeling that they're just shattering those timelines.
Yeah, shattering's a good word. It's not just moving faster, it's like they've skipped ahead somehow.
Right. And maybe, for a while, especially last year perhaps, the narrative often felt like OpenAI was way out in front.
Yeah, there was that perception that Google, despite its history in AI research, was maybe playing catch up slightly.
But what these recent announcements seem to suggest is, Google's leveraging those decades of research, really pushing hard to reclaim that top spot.
Forcefully reclaiming it, yeah. Feels like they're taking all that foundational work and just productizing it fast.
Pushing AI into everything. Making it almost foundational, like you said, like an OS.
An operating system for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good way to put it. It's getting embedded really deeply.
Okay, so let's zoom in. What are some specific examples that really stand out from these announcements? First one, Gemini Live. What exactly is that?
So Gemini Live, essentially, it gives AI the ability to see the world through your phone camera and then add intelligence to what it's seeing in real time.
Okay, so paint me a picture. I point my phone camera at, I don't know, my cluttered living room. What can I ask it? What did the demo show?
Well, the examples are really practical. You could scan the room and ask, hey, where did I put my glasses?
I need that daily.
Right. Or can you help me find my keys in this mess?
Yeah.
And the AI visually scans, understands the objects, and points you right to them.
Okay. And did it work well? Was it easy to fool?
From the reports, it seemed remarkably good. Really efficient, even when they apparently tried to make the scenes complex or, trick it. It seems like a big step up in real-time visual understanding for AI.
Okay, AI that sees, that connects pretty neatly to the next thing, Android XR. This sounds like it takes that visual AI and puts it into, AR glasses.
Exactly. Combines the AI with augmented reality. So the idea is you've got information projected onto the lenses of your glasses.
Like a heads-up display for life.
Sort of, yeah. Directions overlaid on the street you're looking at, or info popping up about things you see, maybe even live translation, seeing conversations written out.
Right. I've seen demos hinting at that translation stuff before. Feels like the tech is finally catching up to the idea.
It does. And the AI is what makes it actually smart and context-aware, not just displaying random data.
Okay, but this idea, it immediately brought up a really big ethical question in the analysis we looked at, and it's kind of been bugging me since.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
If an AI is literally deciding what information gets highlighted, what you see through those lenses, if it's curating your reality, how could that shape things? How could it, control how we perceive the world?
That's the crux of it, isn't it? It gets critical fast. It's about agency and how easily we could be influenced if we just blindly trust what the AI shows us.
Like the Google Maps examples you sometimes hear about, people driving into lakes because they just followed the directions without thinking.
Exactly, that comparison was made. You outsource your navigation thinking. Now imagine outsourcing your visual perception filtering to an algorithm.
Wow, the potential for bias, for filtering, for subtly changing how you understand everything around you.
It becomes huge.
Yeah.
And it really highlights why we need those discussions about boundaries, ethics, transparency now, not later. These aren't future problems anymore.
Makes you really think about the responsibility involved in building this stuff. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Something maybe more familiar, but apparently with a big upgrade. Smart Reply in Gmail.
Right. We all know the basic smart replies.
Thanks. Got it. Yeah. What's different here?
Well, the leap seems to be that it goes way beyond just reacting to the last email. It understands the full conversation, the context.
Ah, okay, so it reads the whole thread.
That's the idea. And the really interesting bit mentioned was its ability to generate replies that actually sound like you.
Like personalized.
Yeah. It apparently analyzes your past emails, your style, and tries to match it. Think about the time that could save if it actually works well.
Yeah.
Especially with the volume of email people get.
That sounds genuinely useful, a real practical productivity boost. Okay, from helping with communication to actually doing things. Project Mariner, described as a full agentic mode. What does agentic mean here?
So agentic means it's moving from just finding information for you to actually being an agent that performs tasks for you, multi-step tasks.
So instead of asking a question, getting a list of links, opening them, reading, comparing.
The agent just does it, yeah.
Yeah.
The example given was apartment hunting. You give it your budget, location, must-haves.
And instead of just links to Zillow or whatever.
Exactly. The AI agent apparently scans the options, filters them based on what you need, compares them, and could even, this was in the demo schedule, viewings for you by interacting with the booking systems online.
Whoa. Okay, that's a big shift. It's not just finding info, it's taking actions, like sequential actions that took a person time and effort before.
Precisely. And they even mentioned the idea of multiple agents maybe working together on complex stuff.
So it's automating entire workflows, not just snippets of tasks.
That's the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
Changing how we do things online that require effort and decision-making.
Okay, that's huge. So we've got visual AI, AR, smarter communication, agents doing tasks. This is all powered by underlying models, right? What about the core AI itself? Gemini 2.5 deep thinking was mentioned.
Right, this was presented as their sort of advanced reasoning model.
Yeah.
The claim being made is that it's positioned, above the existing LLMs, performs better on benchmarks.
All right, the benchmarks are one thing. Did the analysis mention specific feelings of improvement? Like how it actually performed?
Yes, actually. One key thing highlighted was better consistency in conversation. You know how sometimes chatbots just lose the plot mid-conversation?
Oh yeah, completely forget what you were talking about 5 messages ago.
Exactly. This new version apparently holds on to context much better, leading to more coherent, more useful back and forths.
That makes a huge difference in usability.
Totally. And there was also a specific example mentioned about handling certain non-English languages, like Malayalam, much better than older models or free versions. So consistency and maybe better language nuance seem key.
Consistency builds trust. Okay, now all this power sounds expensive to run. Was there talk about pricing?
There was, yeah. They announced a subscription tier, around $250 a month.
Wow, okay. That's quite a jump from the $20 plans we've seen elsewhere.
It is, and it really reflects the sheer computational cost of running these massive cutting-edge models. It's resource intensive.
So what do you get for that? Early access?
Typically, yeah. Access to the very latest models, maybe credits for things like video generation, which eats up resources.
So the question posed then, for you listening, is basically, is that cost worth it for you? Could it genuinely give you, say, a 10x productivity boost in your specific job?
It forces that individual calculation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have to look at your own day, your tasks, and think, where could AI make that much difference?
It's about whether the investment pays off in tangible improvements to your actual work or life.
Exactly.
Okay, beyond language and tasks, there was also this mention of a world AI model. What's that about? Understanding the physical world.
Yeah, essentially building AI that has a robust grasp of physics, chemistry, how objects interact in reality. Common sense about the physical world.
And why is that so important? For robotics.
Robotics is a big one, definitely. And AI needs to understand gravity, friction, that sort of thing to move and interact effectively. But also for things like generating realistic video.
Ah, right. If you ask it to make a video of a ball dropping, it needs to know the ball goes down, not sideways.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It needs that grounding in reality to simulate it or interact with it convincingly.
Makes sense. And speaking of generating things, Creative tools. Big updates there too. Vids, Imagen, Flow.
Yeah, quite a bit. Vids is for video and audio generation together. Imagen, the image generator, apparently got a lot faster, like 10x faster was mentioned.
Wow.
And capable of 2K quality, which is getting into potentially print usable territory.
Okay.
And Flow sounded interesting too, taking multiple images or context and weaving them into a coherent video with audio.
Right. This whole suite of creative tools led to what I thought was maybe the most profound idea discussed in the analysis, this concept of the commoditization of creativity.
Oh yeah, that's a really big one to chew on.
Explain that. What does it mean?
Well, traditionally, creativity was tied very closely to your skill, your ability to do the thing, paint the picture, play the music, write the code, direct the scene. Mastery of the craft was key.
And now?
The argument is that with AI getting so good at the doing, the execution part is becoming, well, a commodity. The AI can generate the image, the music, the text.
So where does the human creativity come in?
It shifts. It shifts to your ability to imagine what you want, to describe it effectively to the AI, to prompt it well, to curate, to refine the output. Your imagination, your vision, and how well you communicate, that becomes the creative act.
Well, the actual artifact, the painting or the song, is something the system produces more easily.
Exactly. The art itself becomes the commodity. Your vision becomes the differentiator.
Man, that raises huge questions. What's the future of art, of movies, of writing? When the doing gets easy, but the imagining is still the core.
These are the massive questions we're all just starting to wrestle with, aren't we? As these tools become mainstream. Okay, let's try and pull this all together. Taking a step back. Visual AI, AR, agents doing tasks, better models, these powerful creative tools. What's the big picture synthesis here?
I think the clearest thing is just how comprehensively AI is starting to automate tasks that used to take significant human effort across the board, seeing, doing, communicating, creating.
And these aren't just niche tools anymore. They're touching more and more decision points in our actual lives.
Absolutely. They're becoming integrated.
So, given all this speed, this breadth of change, how should someone listening right now, whether they're running a business or leading a team or a student or a creator, how do you navigate this? It can feel pretty confusing.
Oh, totally. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, maybe even a bit lost about what it all means for your future, your career, your industry. So much is happening so fast.
And it's tempting to just get distracted by the latest cool demo, right? The shiny new object. Right. And the key piece of advice from the analysis was, try not to just chase the products. Instead, really analyze which functions in your own work, your own life, are actually being automated by these kinds of capabilities.
Think about the underlying function, not just the tool.
Exactly. And then think about the knock-on effects. What are the second, third-order consequences of that automation for you, for your field?
So first order, AI writes emails. Third order, the skills needed for my job are fundamentally changing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And to keep up, or even get ahead, the advice was pretty straightforward. You have to stay updated. You have to actually try these tools, experiment.
Your hands dirty.
Yeah. Using the best tools you can reasonably access is becoming crucial for staying competitive.
And connecting back to that creativity point. Learning how to talk to AI effectively, how to prompt well, that's becoming a really key skill in itself, isn't it? Like a new kind of literacy or creativity.
It really is. And for people who get good at it early, there's definitely opportunity there. If you can use AI to do smart things that others can't yet, well, that's a service you can potentially offer. Early adoption, skilled adoption can create real advantages.
Okay. But amid all this excitement about productivity and getting ahead with AI, there was also a really strong warning note. One that felt pretty vital.
Yes, and maybe this is the most important takeaway of all. Do not outsource.
You're thinking.
Only outsource the work.
Only the work, not the thinking.
Why is that distinction so absolutely critical right now?
Because you still need your intelligence to evaluate what the AI gives you. AI can generate answers, sure, but are they the right answers? Are they biased? Are they even relevant to the real problem? You need your own critical thinking for that.
You need judgment.
Judgment, exactly. And if you stop thinking critically, if you just accept the AI's output, well, your own cognitive skills start to atrophy. You need to keep your brain sharp, capable of that higher level reasoning AI can't do. So you can actually leverage the tool properly instead of just being led by it.
Precisely. Independent thought is what lets you choose how and when to use AI effectively. It keeps you in the driver's seat.
That makes complete sense. If you can't think for yourself, you can't even tell if the AI is helping or hindering you.
You got it.
Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive, It really does feel like these Google announcements, built on all that research, signal a pretty pivotal moment. AI progress is accelerating, and it's weaving itself into the fabric of our lives much faster.
Yeah, and it's a huge race. Make no mistake.
No.
Massive corporations, huge amounts of capital pouring in.
And you know, while those big epic questions, is this utopia or dystopia, are fascinating but maybe unanswerable right now, perhaps the most useful thing for each of us listening to focus on is building on that last piece of advice.
Which is?
In this age where AI can automate so much of the work, how are you personally going to define, cultivate, and value those essential human skills?
Things like critical thinking.
Complex problem solving, genuine imagination, nuanced communication.
And maybe above all, independent judgment.
Exactly. The skills that let you leverage AI effectively, keep your own agency, and chart your own course, rather than just being swept along by the algorithm.
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the opportunity.
It's definitely something to think deeply about. So keep watching, keep learning, and most importantly, keep thinking for yourselves.